And welcome back to another episode of Life in Prison. As always, my name is Zach. So for the ones who are new and don't know, unfortunately I spent 5 years of my life in maximum security prison in West Virginia, up at Mount Correctional Complex and Huntsville Correctional Center. Since getting out of prison, I went and got my medical degree, and I'm currently working in urgent care helping others who cannot help themselves. So pretty much what I do on this channel is I speak about my time in prison along with getting out, along with doing interviews with inmates still locked up in prison, regardless if it's murder, for drug charges, for robbery, serving all sorts of crimes, just showing you a first-hand look what it's actually really like living in prison. Shoot guns, you can sell dope, you can steal things, but at the end of the day, it's going to get you 7 by 12, and you're not going to like it. So today, what we are talking about is, do you have to fight in prison? If you haven't already done it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button so you're first informed when I upload. If you enjoy prison content, this channel is a variety of everything, prison related along with hobbies as well. So, a lot of people ask me, do you have to fight if you go to prison? If you're in a gang, if you're not in a gang? Simple answer is no. I know plenty of dudes who didn't have to fight while they're in prison, and they didn't act like they're fighters. There's a lot of dudes that did act like fighters who didn't have to fight. It's just what you get yourself into, pretty much. As I always preach on this channel, you do not need to join any gangs or organizations. You will be fine flying solo if you go into prison. Just keep your nose out of other people's business. That's pretty much what it boils down to. As long as you stay in your own lane, you don't have to fight. There's no reason to fight. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes individuals who don't put themselves out there, they can pretty much fall prey to individuals who's sheep hunting, right? So if you're not someone that's always out there on that rah-rah stuff, right? Always acting to be like a tough guy, right? Sometimes dudes will try you. And the dudes that are normally doing that are the ones that are in gangs. And I say this because there's a lot of younger individuals that if they were on their own, they wouldn't go and press anybody. But now they've got about 10 other little homeboys around them that are also dumb enough to go and do some dumb stuff with them. That's when you get the times when people end up picking on random people for no reason. Unfortunately, a lot of gangs, we don't fight fair. Now, is that fair? No. Most of the time with every organization, it's if one person goes, then you're all supposed to go, right? So whenever you're, now there is sanctioned fights, right? If something happened that's, kind of personal, and if you went to the tops of these leaders of these gangs, it's like, hey, look, man, old boy disrespect me like this, for this, whatever it may be, right? And you come to them respectfully and be like, look, I understand that you guys do whatever you gotta do, but I want a fair one with this dude because of this. State your facts. Yes, people will give people opportunity to go ahead and do that. Now, if you win, they're not going to jump. You know what I'm saying? You fought that one. It is what it is. Water under the bridge. There should be no more issues. Now, even though there should be no more issues, sometimes people feel some type of way. Say if you got an old boy that's in the gang and he just got his little butt whooped, he's going to feel some type of way just because maybe he feels like his homeboys think that he's soft or something. You win some, you lose some. It's the name of the game. That's just how fighting goes. If anybody's ever had a fight, you win some, you lose some. Unless you're Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? Then you're going to win them all if you got the money. So if you're in prison and you're riding solo dolo, as I said, as long as you're yourself and don't get in the mix, don't start hanging around the gang dudes, right? That's the first way to get clapped, because it's like, if you're a hang around, then you're automatically grouped with these guys. Regardless if you're gang banging or not, you're hanging with these gang bangers. So now you are a part of them. Sometimes just sitting with someone in the pod will get you hit off. There's a few times where there was this dude named Meech, right? This white dude, tall white dude, right? His name was Meech. So his actual name was Dimitri, right? But we just called him Meech. So he would hang around a good bit of us DMI members. Not only that, but he would hang around a lot of the owners dudes. But they did this roundup one time, and unfortunately, he was one of the ones that get scooped up. And it was like 16 of us that ended up getting scooped up for no reason, you know what I'm saying? As I said, if you're a part of an organization in prison, if someone in your group is doing something stupid, right, goes and stabs somebody, ends up getting caught on another pod stealing something, ends up beating someone up in the chow hall, if it's serious enough, they're going to just do a roundup and make sure that nothing else happens for a couple of months. So he, unfortunately, was in one of these roundups. So honestly, during the ADSEC hearing, I went to ask him, I was like, look, you know what I'm saying? He has nothing to do with this. I swear to God, you know who I am, right? I have no reason to lie to you. We have good rapport. He's not a part of this. He was about to have a visit with his family. That got taken. try to right the wrong that you just did. Because there's this guy, our unit manager, up on the gang unit. Each unit has unit managers, right? So Lester Thompson, actually, with his name. Anyone that's ever been locked up at Huttonsville, if you guys are watching this, go ahead and put in the comment how Les was. This real big, overweight dude. He hated everybody on that pod, especially if you're part of DMI. He hated everybody. He would make sure that you guys much time in the hole. As I said, he'd be one of those guys. He'd be one of those guys who just randomly come to your cell and tear it up if you're a gang member just looking for anything. And if you found something, you're gone. The only reason why you should ever fight, right, in prison, I don't condone any of this stuff because that can get you more time pretty much, or it can mess up your parole, preventing you from getting out, right? So the only time you should ever fight, ever, is if someone disrespects you by calling you out your name, or someone takes something or steals something from you and you find out who it is. That's the only time you should ever fight. Because the reason being is, if you don't fight in those situations, then it'll only get worse. Never let someone get over on you. If people think that they can take advantage of you if you're soft, right? Especially the wolf killers out there, especially the sheep killers out there, they're the ones that prey on stuff like that. The only time you should ever fight, like I said, is if someone calls you out your name. Regardless if you win or lose, at least you fought, and now people know, hey, you know what I'm saying, he's going to stand up for himself. At the end of the day, that's dumb. All that stuff is dumb. Trying to see where someone's heart is in prison, it makes absolutely no reason. A lot of people, honestly, want to be feared in prison, and they do a lot of dumb stuff, not knowing that you're really not going to be feared. You're just going to be put in a hole. As I say in every video, just be yourself. It's easier to be yourself than to be someone else. People prey on that. If there's a flaw or weakness in your story, people are going to try to extort that and try to dig it apart and call you out on your bullshit. It's just easy enough to keep the story 100. I don't know how many times I've seen people have to fight because they used to tell these elaborate stories and yeah, I was doing this and doing this, and people from the area call them out. Like, yo, I know who you are. You wasn't doing that. And now, oh, so you call me a liar. Yeah, I'm calling you a liar. Let's fight. What you talking about? It's easier to say nothing than it is to make up a bunch of lies. At the end of the day, we all know that if you're lying, it's eventually going to come out. As we all seen on YouTube, all these guys who portrayed to be somebody else or was telling these crazy stories of things, it all comes out if they're either baby rapers, right? If they've got messed up charges in general, they ratted. Who's a pathological liar? You know what I'm saying? YouTube and social media will find it and sniff it out. There's no reason to lie. Like, you already know whenever you have a lot of followers, a lot of people that are on watching your channel or watching your content in general, there's going to be people out there that may not like whatever it is you got to say, right? They're going to try to make you look like a fool. So the more you spread weird lies, the easier it is for them to call you out and make you look dumb all over YouTube. Now, we've all seen on the news where some facilities, some prisons, some jails actually have these like fight club things. Like, some of the COs actually force these inmates to fight each other. Sometimes these inmates don't want to fight, but these COs and other inmates are making money off of it. So you either get in there and fight back or just get your ass whooped, because either way, you're getting in that ring, or you're going in that cell, or you're going in that shower, wherever it may be, the blind spot, wherever it is in these facilities, that's where you're going to go. So up at Huttonsville and Mount Olive, fighting wise, you could fight in the cell. Showers were too small. Now, every pod was different, set up differently. Maximum security side, up on the gang units in pretty much all lockdown sections, either maximum security, level 5, or 2-man cells type stuff. There was only 1-man showers. You were not fighting in there. The only thing that people were doing in those showers was either showering, doing weird stuff, or smoking the schnape, or cigarettes. That was the place to go. There's about this much of a gap on the bottom, so you can see in there if someone's in there. And then up top, it comes like, you know, your neck, you know, your chest, your neck, depending how tall you are. On the other pods, though, like the dorms, for instance, as I've said, on those dorms, you've got 10, 15-man showers. Now, not everyone goes in there and showers like that. Pretty much there's times, you know. You just stand in line, one person go in there and shower. Like, if you knew someone was behind you, you wouldn't go forever. But those were the best place to fight. If you're on a dorm, you go in the shower to fight. because it's about 20 by 15 size room, nothing but shower heads everywhere. So as long as it was dry, that's the best place to fight. There's nothing that you could hit your head on other than the wall or the ground. Now, if you go in these cells, you have multiple things you can hit your head on. You can hit it on the bunk, you can hit it on the sink, you can hit it on the toilet, or you can hit it on the little stool that they have sticking out. And all these items are either concrete or metal. So a lot of times people really end up getting hurt because of fighting in these cells. Now, head wounds is one of the worst things that you could pretty much get while fighting in the cell. You may not be messed up, but if you get a nice cut on your head, there's going to be blood everywhere. We've all seen the pictures where they show blood everywhere in these cells and stuff like that. Most of the time, that's because if it's a head wound. Don't be one of those guys who's always paranoid looking over the shoulder. As I've said before, stay out the way, don't tell lies, and just be yourself. It's as easy as that. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you'll be first informed when I upload. As I said in my past video, on my shorts, you'll see a lot of fingerboarding clips. As I said, I am a sponsored fingerboard rider for Squirrel Nut, so I will be posting a lot of fingerboard and pretty much just everyday hobbies clips on my shorts and on my Instagram. So for those who are just here for the prison content, don't worry, all my videos are going to be about prison content. And for those who are willing to support the fingerboard movement, go ahead and like those shorts, keep the algorithm going. As always, guys, I send my utmost level of respect. Keep pushing positivity. I appreciate you guys' consistency, and I hope you come back for more. We going.